What's going on, guys? What's going on, Ty Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, Carl Anthony Towns is in trade rumors. Now, I can see Carl Anthony Towns going to three different teams. Like Carl Anthony Towns did make it all the way to the conference finals this year, like Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards and Carl Anthony Towns make a 2-1 punch. A good 2-1 duo. A good 2-1 duo because you have you have Anthony Edwards who you drafted. You have Carl Anthony Towns. You have Mike Conley. You have the rookie that they traded for in the draft. Um, that that is probably going. Their rookie has the best handles. Put I would put the Minnesota T Wolves rookie in the same category with best handles and AI and Iverson and Kyrie. Like I would put them there. I would put them in the discussion for the best handles for the best handles in the NBA because he has he reminds me the Minnesota rookie reminds me as Kyrie, as AI, as Iverson. He reminds me as Iverson and Kyrie. But back to my take about Carl Anthony Towns. I do think Carl Anthony Towns will stay with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think when we look at it, when you look at it from a basketball standpoint, Carl Anthony Towns been there for 9 or 10 seasons now, and I think Carl Anthony Towns wants to retire a Minnesota Timberwolf. Like we haven't seen another Minnesota Timberwolf put on that jersey since Kevin Garnett. Like you can put Anthony Edwards in that conversation, Carl Anthony Towns, but seen we haven't seen a big man represent represent Minnesota like Carl Anthony Towns has did since Kevin Garnett. Like we can put Anthony Edwards in that conversation. Like Anthony Edwards and Carl Anthony Towns both represent the Minnesota Timberwolves like Kevin Garnett did. So if Carl Anthony Towns stays with the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are building around Carl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, but I do think Minnesota will win a championship. I do think Minnesota will win a championship. The Minnesota Timberwolves will win a championship. I do think that. But there are teams that I heard there are teams that are interested that I can see Carl Anthony Towns go to, like the New York Knicks, um, the Lakers, the probably the probably the probably the Golden State Warriors. Like I can see Carl Anthony Towns being traded to one of those teams, but if this is just a rumor, I can see him probably winning a championship with Minnesota, and and Infinity Edwards. But if you pair if he gets traded to New York, he's going to play with Miles Bridges, um, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Devin Tinzel. Like I think that if he gets traded there, that's going to be a team to beat in the East. But if he goes to the Lakers, you would have Anthony Davis. You would have LeBron James. You would have um, Bronny. You would have D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves. Like you would have those guys. You would have those guys. And then if he gets traded to the Golden State Warriors, you have um, you have you have you have Steph Curry. You have Draymond. Like I think the Warriors need another star because they lost Clay, they lost Kevin Durant a couple of years ago, and they lost Clay this year. So if Carl Anthony Towns gets traded to one of those teams, or if he stays with Minnesota, I think he can actually he can actually win a championship with Anthony Edwards and with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there and stay blessed, everybody, and peace.